Hello, this is Will. I'm so excited to be talking with you today and welcome to lesson number 2. School and educational decisions can be one of the most volatile scenarios that can play out if you don't protect yourself by watching this video. Setting up your divorce agreement in a fair, equitable manner where you don't get taken advantage of is why we are here. Our mission is to help all men all over the world avoid the countless mistakes they will make during the divorce process. How would you like to benefit from knowing what thousands of men before you wished they had known prior to their divorce going final and the agreement being signed? We are not attorneys, we are men just like you who have been where you find yourself now. The information provided in this video and in this channel is for informational purposes only and is not meant to take the place of professional, legal, accounting or financial advice. If you have any legal questions about this video or the subjects discussed, or any other legal matter, you should consult with an attorney or tax professional in your area. In this video, we are going to give you the cold hard facts as to why so many men find themselves in a horrible situation, where they feel powerless and it only damages their relationship with their children's mother. In lesson number 1, we discussed how some of the standard legal language in divorce agreements are not worth the paper on which they are written. We are going to dive deep into this topic so you will have your eyes wide open and not get caught off guard. A very important part of the divorce agreement is outlining where the children will be going to school. It is common sense that these decisions would be joint decisions made by both parents. Here is an example of some standard language in a divorce agreement. Read it and see what you think. It looks straightforward and you would not normally see any issues with what is written here. It is ordered that your name as a parent joint managing conservator shall have the following rights and duty: the right, subject to the agreement of the other parent conservator, to make decisions concerning the children's education. In the absence of agreement, the party shall follow the recommendations of the child's teacher and/or school counselor. It is ordered that your spouse's name as a parent joint managing conservator shall have the following rights and duty: the right, subject to the agreement of the other parent conservator, to make decisions concerning the children's education. In the absence of agreement, the party shall follow the recommendations of the child's teacher and/or school counselor. These two statements are very standard in many divorce agreements and both parties will have these in their respective sections. When you read each of these statements, they appear very clean in that each parent must agree to whatever educational decisions are made for your kids and no one parent has the final say over another. What do you also notice? The language says that the parents are joint managing conservators, which means the parents share the decision-making authority. So what if the parents don't agree? It looks very logical that the child's teacher and/or the school counselor will make the recommendation. Wrong. If your ex-wife wants to move the kids, there are very few teachers or school counselors who are going to get involved in a divorce disagreement between two parents and accept that liability. Your ex-wife won't even have to go to your child's teachers or school counselor. She will be able to move your kids wherever she would like with this standard language and there won't be anything you could do about it. What your $500 per hour attorney failed to tell you is that these statements aren't worth the paper on which they are written. Men just like you have been on the receiving end of these circumstances. Out of their frustration, they went back to the very attorneys who had these standard clauses in their agreement and their response, as you would find out, there's not much you can do. Let me re-emphasize this point. It is very important for you to not, and I repeat, not think that these situations won't happen to you. Hopefully they do not. However, our mission is to help you mentally prepare for what could happen and to ensure that you have a fair, equitable agreement where you are protected. These statements are too vague and are not binding. What you need to consider are several factors when it comes to your kids, their education and school location. Below we will dive much deeper into all of this. Before we get into this next section, if you haven't already hit subscribe and the alert icon, please do so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please tell any man you know who is either contemplating divorce or going through the divorce process to check out our channel. Why are we suggesting getting this information to any friend of yours who has confided in you that they are contemplating divorce? The reason is because no man can understand what is involved in divorce unless they can start to see it through the eyes of another. Getting divorced is the very last thing you would want anyone to consider. However, if they choose to go down this route, At least you will have done your part with them going into this painful journey, eyes wide open. So let's begin with the current school district your children are going to today. You and your spouse may still currently live in the same house or apartment with your kids. For discussion purposes in this example, let's assume that you are keeping the house and she is ultimately going to be moving out. How you set up your divorce agreement for which schools your kids will be attending is going to be very important and have a big impact on your life going forward. Here is the big question you need to answer, and think about that most men do not consider when putting their decree together. Let's suppose you have your kids tonight, and tomorrow is Thursday morning. Do you want your kids to walk outside and pick up the bus for school, or do you want to get in your car and drive 30 minutes to the other side of town to drop them off at your ex-wife's house so they can pick up the bus at her house? Your ex-wife may try to get you to sign the divorce agreement that says that you both must stay within your current school district. On the surface, this may seem very logical. However, when you think about it in terms of where your kids will need to pick up the bus, it's a completely different scenario to think through. Take a moment and find out where the furthest location within your school district could be. Then input driving directions from your current home to that location. You will have to assume that is where your ex-wife and her future new husband is going to want to move. Then, perform the same driving instructions during morning rush hour and the evening rush hour commute. Then mentally visualize yourself being the person to not only drive to that location to either drop off or pick up your kids, but then multiply that driving duration by 2, so you can understand the round-trip duration you will be spending in your car week after week, and year after year. Men, the reason I'm walking you through this visualization is that we have worked with so many men would have found themselves in these situations, just because they didn't think it could happen to them. Think of the information on this channel and in this video as your insurance policy for your home. Would you really risk spending several $100,000 on a home and not insure it in case it burns to the ground? This is no different. We are in your corner and simply advising you to protect yourself. In lesson number 3, we will get into the specifics on this topic so you can set up your divorce decree to protect you and your children's interests. Well, that's a wrap. I hope you got some good information from this lesson. There is so much more information you will receive in the next lesson and all the lessons you have not listened to yet. My goal for you is that with each lesson, you feel more and more confident. This is a very scary time and you may feel lost. You may feel depressed and you may feel that your life is turning upside down. We've all been where you are. It does get better and you can get through this, because we've got your back.